After 40, a woman can fast 16 hours, eat nothing but clean food, and still watch her belly stay exactly where it was. Not because she lacks discipline, because estrogen was doing a job inside her fat cells that nobody told her about. And when it dropped, that job stopped getting done. Today, you will understand exactly what that job was, why losing it changes everything about fasting, and what actually moves belly fat in a body over 40. There is a hormone your doctor has probably never mentioned in the context of weight loss, and it was the reason fasting ever worked for you in the first place. Estrogen does not just regulate your cycle. It directly controls whether your fat cells will release stored fat when you eat less. Inside fat tissue, estrogen activates receptors that signal the cell to let go of its stored contents, a process called lipolysis. When estrogen is abundant, a calorie deficit sends a clear message: release the stores. The body responds. The scale moves. After 40, estrogen drops. Those receptors lose their activation. The message to release fat gets quieter. Your body hears the deficit. It just does not act on it the same way. A 2018 review in Obesity Reviews confirmed that declining estrogen directly reduces lipolysis in women during perimenopause and beyond, meaning fat cells become measurably more resistant to releasing their contents, regardless of how much you restrict. But that is only the first half of what changes. The second half explains why belly fat specifically seems to lock in place. The reason belly fat is the last to go after 40 has nothing to do with your metabolism slowing down. It has to do with a brake that went missing. Estrogen is a natural buffer for cortisol. When estrogen drops, cortisol rises and stays there. And cortisol has one overriding instruction when it comes to fat: store it around the middle. In a healthy hormonal environment, estrogen keeps cortisol from spiking too high or staying too long. After 40, that buffer weakens. Cortisol rises in the morning and has far less resistance pulling it back down. A fasting window makes it worse. The longer you go without food, the more cortisol your body releases to maintain blood sugar. In a younger woman, estrogen dampens that response. In a woman over 40, it does not. What that means practically: fasting that once felt energizing now feels anxious, wired, and draining. And the body, reading sustained high cortisol as a threat signal, does exactly what it evolved to do. It directs fat storage toward the abdomen, where it sits closest to the organs, where the body can access it fastest if the threat escalates. This was a protection system designed for famine. It still works perfectly. It is just protecting against a threat that is not actually there. That specific cortisol pattern, when it peaks, when it should drop, and how to fast around it instead of against it, is exactly what the natural Mounjaro protocol was built around. It is a 21-day system designed specifically for the female body over 45, and it is on screen if you want the practical version of what we are covering here. But cortisol timing is only part of the picture. There is a hormone your body makes naturally that does almost exactly what the most talked about weight loss drug on the market does. And most women over 40 are producing far less of it than they should be. GLP-1, glucagon-like peptide 1, is the hormone that tells your brain you have eaten enough, slows how quickly food leaves your stomach, and regulates how aggressively your body stores fat. It is also the hormone behind Mounjaro and Ozempic. And after 40, GLP-1 production drops alongside estrogen. GLP-1 is released in the gut after you eat. It signals the brain, you are full. It slows digestion, which smooths out blood sugar spikes. It reduces the insulin response that follows a meal, and it directly dials down fat storage signals in fat tissue. When GLP-1 is working well, hunger is manageable, portions naturally shrink, and fat cells respond to the right inputs. When GLP-1 is low, which is the default state for many women past 40, hunger is louder, Meals feel less satisfying, and the same amount of food triggers a larger fat storage response. A 2021 study in Nutrients found that GLP-1 secretion declines measurably with age, and that women in perimenopause and beyond show significantly blunted GLP-1 responses compared to premenopausal women. The drug Mounjaro works by flooding the body with a synthetic version of this hormone, but the body already knows how to make it. It just needs the right inputs to do so. Those inputs are specific, and they work differently in a woman's body than in a man's, which is exactly why the generic advice rarely produces results. The foods most women over 40 are avoiding because they seem too calorie-dense are the exact foods that tell the gut to produce more of the hormone that shuts hunger off. GLP-1 is stimulated by specific nutrients, primarily fiber, protein, and certain fats, and suppressed by the exact eating pattern most diet protocols push women toward. High-fiber foods, particularly resistant starch and fermentable fiber, feed the gut bacteria that produce short-chain fatty acids. Those fatty acids directly trigger cells in the small intestine to release GLP-1. Protein from whole food sources also strongly stimulates GLP-1 release. Low-fat, low-calorie diets that restrict both protein and fiber consistently show lower GLP-1 levels over time. Long fasting windows without the right nutrients to break the fast produce a blunted GLP-1 response, meaning hunger comes back harder and faster after eating, which makes the next fast even more difficult. The protocol that works is not eating less. It is eating the specific combination that turns GLP-1 back on in a female gut. But even the right foods produce weaker results when the timing is wrong, because the female body over 40 is governed by a cortisol rhythm that determines whether any of it will land. The same meal eaten at 8 in the morning versus noon produces a completely different hormonal response in a woman over 40. One of those responses stores fat. One burns it. Cortisol peaks in the first hours after waking. It is designed to get you moving, the signal that activates the body from sleep. In a woman with balanced estrogen, cortisol begins dropping within an hour or two of waking. In a woman over 40 with lower estrogen, that drop is slower and flatter. If she is also fasting through that window, cortisol stays elevated longer. Insulin is low during the fast, which sounds ideal on paper. But high cortisol paired with low insulin triggers a specific fat preservation cascade. The body breaks down muscle tissue for fuel while protecting fat stores. This is the physiological opposite of what she is trying to achieve. The fix is not longer fasting. It is a shorter, strategically placed eating window that works with the cortisol curve instead of against it. A 2019 study in Cell Metabolism found that time-restricted eating aligned with the body's natural morning cortisol window produced significantly better fat loss outcomes in women compared to the same caloric intake placed outside that window. Bring the cortisol timing together with GLP-1 activation, and you have a system that works with the female body. Remove either one and the results stall. The women who have been fasting the longest and seeing the least progress are often the closest to something working. They are just missing the one structural adjustment that makes the whole system click. Belly fat in women over 40 does not move when you restrict more. It moves when you stop working against the body's hormonal logic and start building inside it. The body is not broken. It is doing exactly what a body with lower estrogen, elevated cortisol, and reduced GLP-1 is supposed to do: conserving, protecting, and storing. The intervention is not to overpower those signals with more restriction. It is to restore the inputs those hormones are waiting for. Enough protein to stabilize blood sugar and stimulate GLP-1. Enough fiber to feed the gut bacteria that produce it. A fasting window short enough and timed correctly so cortisol does not sit elevated for hours over an empty stomach. And a consistent rhythm, because the body needs repetition to rebuild a hormonal pattern that has been disrupted for years. 21 days is not an arbitrary number. It is the minimum window in which gut bacteria populations measurably shift, cortisol rhythms begin to stabilize, and GLP-1 response starts to recover. Research published in the journal Gut showed that targeted dietary changes produce measurable shifts in gut microbiome composition within 3 weeks, and with them, measurable changes in satiety hormones including GLP-1. The belly fat that has not moved in years is not waiting for more willpower. It is waiting for the right signal. After 40, your body is not fighting you. It is protecting you, with the best tools it has, given what it is working with. Change the inputs. Change what it reads as a threat. And the protection it has been holding in place stops being necessary. Everything in this video is free, because understanding how your own body works should not cost you anything. The Natural Mounjaro Protocol exists because knowing what is happening and building a system that actually works inside your real life are two completely different things. I spent a long time working out the practical version of all of this, the exact foods that activate GLP-1 in a female gut, the timing that works with the morning cortisol curve instead of against it, the 21-day structure that gives the body enough time to genuinely shift. That is what the protocol is. It costs something because it took real work to build something specific enough to produce real results, and because the women who invest in it actually follow it through. Women using this system are watching belly fat move that has been locked in place for years, not because they fasted harder, not because they restricted more, because for the first time, the protocol was built for their body. The link is on screen.